What is going on, lads, and welcome back to the YouTube. So it's Sunday the 13th of October. I'm pretty much chilling. Most of the work is done for the day. I was out for a bit of a walk today already and everything like that, and today I wanted to record a video basically breaking down, you know, a little physique update for you, and going through some future kind of goals and plans, because I do think some of you are really going to enjoy this, and it might help you, you know, going into the next few months as to, you know, what you should do with your goals in terms of your thought process anyway. So for me specifically, I am currently in the last, I would say, 3 weeks of a maintenance phase before I go into a lean gain. So at the moment I am 101 kilos, fluctuating in between 101 102 kilos. I actually smashed up my scales a few days ago, ordered a new one. It doesn't work, so I don't know exactly what weight I am today, but just by looking at, you know, the recent check-in photos, I would say I'm rather in the 101 area, because I'm actually a little bit tighter than what I was the week previous. Currently, I'm training 4 days a week, and it is fairly simple. I'm doing upper on Mondays, lower body on Tuesdays, rest Wednesday, then Thursday, chest and arms, and then back and legs. Friday, full weekend off. Trying to rest as much as possible and actually get, you know, excited about training and going into the gaining phase as well. That's a big part of it. Cardio is at 40 minutes daily on the Stairmaster, which honestly just feels like just part of my daily routine at the minute. Like I absolutely love it. I do enjoy being that little bit fitter, and obviously not having to carry that extra weight. And yeah, I love it. Honestly, I'll be sad seeing it go. Steps are at 10,000 daily. Sometimes I might get, like, naturally I don't try to get any more than 10,000. If I get more than 10,000, it's probably because I'm out somewhere doing something. But minimum I have to hit my 10k. Calories currently are 2,500 on a training day and 2,200 on a rest day. The only real difference between those two is less carbs, literally from my oats and my rice meals. I literally have a little bit less rice and oats. Plus I have an off-plan meal every single week too, which I absolutely love, I enjoy, and I'm going to try keep in every single week moving forward. Now, what's the next step from here? Okay, because I've been in this phase for about 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. So what's the kind of next step moving forward? And number one thing is to get the bloods done. Okay, so blood work, super important to make sure that I'm healthy, everything is in the right place, and I'm all clear to push forward, obviously with special supplements, which we might make a separate video on moving forward. As far as my goals, the goal is to, over the next 20 weeks, is to put on about 20 pounds or 10 kilos. So the idea here is to stay as lean as possible. Okay, I want to really focus on keeping this gaining phase as lean as I possibly can, to really, you know, maximize my training progression and performance, but again, not get to a point where I'm, you know, sluggish, or I'm not happy with, you know, how I look, because that has been a massive issue for me in a previous gaining phase. So I think with this, I'm going to end up somewhere in the range of, somewhere in the range of about 110 to 112 kilos, which is quite heavy. And what I want to improve in terms of my physique at the moment is, number one is my shoulders and arms. If I could improve my chest a little bit more, deadly. But those are the kind of 3 main areas that I'm thinking of. Like, if I could, you know, change anything about my physique, those would be the 3 areas that I would like to, improve on. And again, with the slow kind of approach to things, only adding on about a pound per week, which is somewhere in around half a kilo, I should stay, relatively lean, relatively fit, and not get too far into the negatives of a gaining phase, because that was a massive thing that happened to me last time, where I just, I was not enjoying the process at all whatsoever. And this is kind of something that I wanted to touch on today in specific, because when I got to this place that I am at now, in maintenance, I've loved it. I've really, really, really enjoyed, being lean. Obviously it works great for the likes of Instagram and stuff like that. Everyone's seeing it, all of a sudden everyone thinks, oh Jesus, you must be great at what you do as well. But overall, like, I'm looking at my physique right now and I couldn't be happier. I've really come to a realization that I've nearly completed my physique goals, in a sense. Like, and it was a sad thing to go through as well for a while, because then I was second guessing myself and like, what am I actually doing here? But again, it was unbelievable as well, because I genuinely have, like, when I look at myself right now, like, I could not be happier. Yes, could I add little bits and bobs here and there? Of course, who wouldn't? Like, we could always progress that little bit more and improve, small things about ourselves and whatnot. But like, as I look at my physique overall, I'm like, fucking hell, this is what I've always wanted to look like. This is, a unbelievable physique for me specifically. I look at this and I'm like, I've enough size, I'm lean enough, I couldn't be happier. And for a good while, I was sitting there thinking, like, do I, continue pushing forwards? Do I just stay where I am at now and just maintain this, but like, it didn't really sit well with me at the end of the day, because I was sitting there like, yeah, but like, how quickly am I going to get bored of this? Because it's coming up to, as I said, about 6 weeks of sitting where I am right now, and I'm like, it's not really exciting. Training isn't as good as it could be, and there's definitely things that I could continue work on. So I think that's the most important thing, is having somewhere to work towards. Is always going to be that little bit better. You're going to be that little bit more motivated, excited about training, because otherwise you're just going to be sitting there and you're going to get complacent. That's the bottom line. So moving forward, the goal is to add on 20 pounds and take us along on the process of, how do we stay as lean as we possibly can and put on as much muscle as possible, and also stay fit, don't get out of shape. So yeah, I think it will be an interesting one to take us along for, and show you how I break everything down, the struggles of everything, in terms of even growing more, because it's not an easy process at all. Personally, I find it extremely hard. I could stay being this lean year round, it's not an issue to me, but when it comes to seeing yourself put on extra body fat and having to tell yourself, look, like, this is for a good reason, you're working towards actually improving your physique, which you 100% will. It is, it's not an easy thing whatsoever. So the next couple of months are going to be very interesting, between the end of October till about March, mid-March is, when I'm going to push as hard as I possibly can to stay as lean as possible, but also put on 20 pounds in that process. So again, it's going to come from, working extremely hard in the gym, not getting lazy when it comes to food and food sources. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing to bring us along on the journey and show you the process of how I do this. And yeah, I'm excited to show you, because it's not something that I've been able to do before, or it's not something I've done before. So I'm going to show you, behind the scenes of, how everything feels on day-to-day basis, when you are trying to push weight, push food and everything else. And yeah, it's going to be exciting.